Hey guys, this is Dux. Today I thought I'd share my tips on how to color webtoons very quickly. First thing I do is make sure your line art is thick enough. So what I do is I go to my drawing layers and I duplicate all of them. So now you can see that the drawing is a little bit thicker and you can see this will help with the coloring process. And then what you do is you select the drawing folder, set that as a reference layer, and you download this plugin. So this is a fill plugin that if you search in the Clip Studio assets, search for fill, go to the popular, and it's the second one that comes out. So this one's pretty useful. So earlier we set this whole folder as a reference, and if you go to the plugin settings, you can see that you refer to the reference layer, and then these bottom sections, just you can select all of them. And this is the closing gap. This is how much of the gap in the line art that you want to close off before it fills it. You can experiment with it, but from my experience, usually 4 or 5 works the best. So now that you have this plugin set up, your folder is a reference layer. Just create a new layer underneath all of your drawings. Let's call that base. And before you go in and color, now that you're all ready to go, you can see that my drawings, they have a lot of gaps, right? Like here, for example, it's not even like finished really. And if you don't want to deal with those, you should frame your drawings first. So you go to the frame tool, rectangle. I like to do a black frame, and then just let's frame in all of our drawings first. So I'll create the rectangle frame around all of my drawings. Make sure all the parts are in there, and you can move this. You can hold Control on your keyboard, and you can adjust the frame if you need to. So let's just do that for all of the drawings. Okay, so now that you have the frames, drag your drawing folder into the frames, and now all of your drawing is closed off, and you shouldn't have issues with the coloring. So let's go back to the base layer, select the plugin, and first I like to just select the skin color and do the entire thing in skin. So now with this tool you can see that you can use the lasso to color things, and why this is better than the regular fill tool is that you can select around the parts that you don't want to color. Like for example, his collar here, I can just select around the neck, and I don't have to worry about coloring over certain lines. So here, for example, I'll do his whole body, and then just select. And these parts I can go in with the magic wand tool and just remove. And I can select gray color and color his shirt, and exclude everything else with the lasso tool. So you can see how quick this is, and this does a much better job than the regular fill tool. So you don't have to like fill in this bit and then like worry about everything in between. Like with the fill tool it's tricky, but with the lasso tool it's much easier, and you can see that I can just go around all of the parts that I don't want. And there you go. I just colored her sweater without the other bits. So yeah, this is how I color. And just quickly, I want to show you how to shade better as well. So on top of your base color, you can make a multiply layer, and I'll call that shadow. And then you can use the same plugin. You don't have to change any settings. And then I'll select like a grayish color. And make sure you clip the shadow to the base layer. And then let's say I just shaded his neck and his color, right? Now this is cool. Like you can use the tool to do some cell shading here. But let's say you want to add a little bit of tint to your shadow because it's just gray and it's not very interesting to look at. What you can do is you can go back to the base, go to select color gamut, and then click the skin tone. Now that it's selected, go back to the shadow layer, and then you can change the selected shadow to like a redder tint. Now this is very subtle, but you can do that. You can see the difference that it makes in the quality of your shadow, and it looks just much more natural. So I made a quick action for this. So like, let's say I select the skin, go to the shadow, and then I just hit the red tint auto action, which just applies the color balance basically. And I usually do this for the skin tone and all the white parts. So like his shirt here, for example, I'll use the color gamut tool, select the shirt, go back to the shadow layer, and then do the blue tint, which changes the color balance to a bluish look. Now you can see like it's very subtle, but it does a lot to improve your shadow quality. So those are a few tricks that I do to make the coloring process easier. Let me know if this helped, and thanks for watching. Bye bye.